How's all traders, and welcome back to another market review brought to you by Orbex. So we're kicking off the week looking at commodities. We're seeing gold a little bit under pressure. Heavy rejection at 3,400 sees the yellow metal drop off roughly about $50 since the early Asian session has begun. Oil is under tremendous pressure, hitting another low after last week's decision. Well, rumors by OPEC that they will increase production. There'll be an oversupply in the market. So this week we've got inflation data as well coming out from America, creeping up to 3% year on year. Unfortunately for the Fed, they're going to have to make some very big decisions in September if they're going to cut eventually. And we've got Donald Trump meeting Vladimir Putin on Friday in Alaska, which could shake the markets a little bit more at the end of the week if we don't get any signs of any kind of ceasefire or end to the Russia-Ukraine conflict. So quite a lot to digest this week. Let's get straight into the markets on the chart. So as I said, gold has fallen, as I said, a heavy rejection at 3,400 at these latest spikes here on the intraday chart, and then collapsing pretty much to roughly around the mid 3,300 area. Since then though, we are having a little bit of an uptick. Let's bring this down the 1 hour chart. Actually, it's a little bit easy to see because as you can see here, heavy rejection, test after test at 3,400, which was roughly around this area here. So you can see, let's make that a little bit more clear. You can see it's a lot more worrying for a lot of gold traders or gold bulls if they're thinking that we will be hitting record highs anytime soon. We had a tremendous movement to get back into that particular area, you know, wave after wave, steady legs higher and higher, but since then, as you can see here, heavy rejection and now trading a little bit lower. So will we get that kind of uptick we were hoping for in the near term? Let's just wait and see, but at the moment, as you can see here, very far away from even hitting the previous high, which was 34.30. So it's looking likely that price action will be a little bit subdued going into this week. But obviously, as I said, CPI data can change that quite dramatically as well. Let's just take a quick look on oil. As I said, hitting quite a massive correction. You know, we were flirting with the $70 handle not so long ago, but now, as you can see, wave after wave of downside pressure. Now just seeing if we can find a little bit of support roughly around 63, which has been pretty much acting as a firm support in the near term. As you can see here, had some tests on this 4 hour chart, but didn't really fall any lower. So, but we've seen that before. We had an uptick and then a very bearish candle not so long ago. So if we just bring this right back to when these prices were actually last trading at this particular zone, as you can see here, going back to June and a few months ago, and even before that, before we had this mega collapse that was in April and June period. So we'll see if we do get any more of an uptick, but for now it's all about OPEC. It's all about the worrying constraints of looking at price action, especially for gold. If we just check back on gold, we are seeing that, you know, 3,400. It's more looking like 3,300 now is the next target to the downside. So we'll see if that does come into fruition, because gold did have such a massive uptick that we were expecting this to keep on pushing higher, but could just be a short pullback before price action moves a bit higher. Not too many divergences on the RSI for gold and oil, just very subdued at the moment. So we'll wait and see for the next signal. But as always, we'll bring you all the latest in fundamentals and technicals on our YouTube and Telegram channel. So stick with us, stay ahead, trade responsibly, and we'll speak again next time. Bye for now.